So get this, I just uploaded my video, right? Just had it set, ready to push publish, and all of a sudden I get a text. Breaking news. Eagles make a trade. The Eagles go out and they trade for defensive end Genard Avery. Now, he's an undersized defensive end pass rusher, 6'1.5", 248 pounds, almost the size of a linebacker. He's very fast, ran a 4.59 at the combine, which is fast for a defensive end, and he's very good at rushing the passer. So he had basically no room in Cleveland. He was there last year. He had 4.5 sacks. I don't think he really fit their system of what they do. He was basically sat out but 2 games the whole year. And they're going to move on from him. And I think the Eagles are getting a steal. A steal. Because this kid is somebody who the Eagles think they could develop into a legit pass rusher. This kid has ton of upside. I mean, his rookie year had 4.5 sacks. That's really good. So I love this move. And the Eagles give up, I think it was like a 2021 conditional pick or something like that. It's nothing. It costs the cap nothing. You're getting perhaps a kid who's a diamond in the rough. We're going to have to see. So I like this move. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the defensive end position. I still stand firm to what I'm saying in the video, as you'll see later. But Genard Avery comes. They waive Bruce Hector. And I think this could be a sneaky move by the Philadelphia Eagles. With that said, here's the video. What a move by Howie Roseman! Whoa! How you doing? King Ding back here, and I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm living off the high of yesterday's win. I'm living off of it. It's going to be a great week. You got Halloween. You got the weather changing. And tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern is the NFL trade deadline. The last chance to make a trade and get a player from another team to come help your roster. And I think the Eagles are buyers. I think that Buffalo win yesterday makes the Eagles buyers. And there's a lot of reports right now saying the Eagles are going heavy for Darius Slay. They're going real heavy for him, and the only thing is the price may be too high. So we're going to have to wait and see. But look, Darius Slay, 28 years old. In January, he'll be 29. He's got 2 years left on his contract. I think it's like $13 and $15 million cap hit. And he would be a great addition. There's no question he would help make this team better. You know it, I know, we all know it. And I would love to get him. Now, what am I willing to pay to get Darius Slay? That's the question, and that's the question the Eagles are going to have to answer, because from what we're hearing, the price is going to be high. For me, I don't give a first round pick for him. I would not give a first round pick up, only because he's only got 2 years left on his contract, and he will be 29 in January. You know, the reason I was willing to give so much for Jalen Ramsey was because he's 24. He's 24 years old, and you can sign him to a huge contract, and he's going to be there 8 years, something like that. Darius Slay, you may only get 2 years out of, and not even that, maybe a year and a half. However, if I could get him for like a second and like a player or something like that, I'd do it in a second. I would do it in a second. No matter what happens, if Darius Slay comes to the Eagles, he is a huge upgrade. No question about it. I would love to have him. There's already trades happening. I mean, the Giants traded for Leonard Williams today, which I kind of don't understand what the Giants are doing. Are they trying to win? Are they trying to rebuild? Or they have 1 foot in, 1 foot out? I never know what they're going to do. I have to assume they get him and they plan on signing him long term, so he's a long-term answer for them. As for the Eagles, if you had to say, what position would you make your top priority? Where would you go by the trade deadline? What one position would you get if you had to choose out of any? And that's simple for me. I go wide receiver. I would go wide receiver, and here's why. Because I think that the wide receiver position is the weakest link on this team right now. I know the secondary's been bad. I know the corners have been horrible. I get it. But I also know this. You're getting Ronald Darby back from injury. You're getting Jalen Mills back from injury. You're getting Cravion Blanc LeBlanc soon from injury. So you're going to get those three guys back in this lineup, okay? Now, Darby, he struggled early coming back from an ACL. I expect him to get better as the season goes on. I think Jalen Mills has done a decent job. And I just think that these guys can be at least competent. They can come together and make plays when they had to. But they showed us last year they could come together and get things straightened out. On the offensive side of the ball, when I look at Desean Jackson being out, you're not getting any production from your slot wide receiver. Nothing. You're getting no production from special team star Mac Hollins. You get nothing from these guys at all. You get nothing. I think that Nelson Aguilar had 4 catches for 7 yards. Ooh, man, look at that speed. The guy ran a half an inch 4 times. I don't know. It was not that low, but you know what I'm saying. It's not good. It's not good. And when you get and you play the bigger, better teams that can move the ball, you have to be able to score with them. Now, they're saying Desean Jackson is coming back to practice Wednesday. Great. That's awesome. Here's the issue I have with Desean Jackson in general. They're saying that he's going to have pain all year, that he could re-injure it. It could happen very easily. And he may play 1 game, may be out the next 2 games. And if you take Desean Jackson's speed away from him, he's not the same guy. He's not the same guy. It's the speed that makes Desean Jackson who he is and so good. And I don't know that he's going to have that. Peterson has said several times he will not be 100%. Okay? So what happens if you get him back? Let's say he sits out against the Bears, rests the bye, comes back to Patriots, and he's only 70% and he's not as fast. That hurts us. That hurts us. So I would get an insurance policy. I would go out and get myself a wide receiver. Now, the guy I'm thinking of specifically is Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson plays for the Jets. 26 years old, last year of his contract. The guy can run. He's fast. He's a deep threat. You saw what he did to Dallas. You've seen what he's done to other teams. He's a vertical receiver who would be a huge addition to the Eagles. Now, let's just say you get him and Desean Jackson comes back and he can be 100% or close or doesn't lose any speed. That just makes you more dangerous. It just makes you more dangerous. I would go out and get Robbie Anderson. I would love to get him. Secondly, if I can't get Robbie Anderson, I'll go for Devante Parker. Devante Parker, big, physical receiver. And here's what I love about Devante Parker. He can go vertical. He can go up and get the ball. He's got speed. And he's got 2 years left on his contract. So he's got, I think, an optional year next year, meaning that I think it's only like $5 million. So you would have him the rest of this year and next year. And I think that would be a great addition for the Eagles. So I would go after those 2 guys. That would be my top 2 choices, okay? If I can't get one of those guys, if I can't land a receiver, and you say, then where would I go? I would try to go defensive line. I would not mind adding another pass rusher. The guy I'm thinking of is Yannick Ngakoue. If I said it wrong, I'm sorry. From the Jacksonville Jaguars. He wanted a contract. They didn't give it to him. He came in. He's been playing on the last year of one. And he's a very, very, very talented player. Very good player. And if they're willing to move him, he probably would cost a lot. But if I could get him somehow, I would definitely do it. Because I think you could use help in the pass rush, you know. The Eagles have had success. Fletcher Cox came on. They've been putting Brandon Graham inside, and he's been very effective at times rushing inside. He'll run outside, inside, but they've been moving Brandon Graham around, and it helps, and it causes problems for defenses. If you could add him to that defensive line, they would start getting the quarterback even more, put more pressure, help the secondary out, and that would be definitely good. So, you know, those are like my 3 targets. My top 3 targets, my top 3 targets would be Robbie Anderson, Devante Parker, Yannick Ngakoue, and then I would say 4 Darius Slay would be 4. Patrick Peterson I don't want because he's old. And I'm not giving up a first-round pick and then something for him. Okay, to me, he's too old. Darius Slay, if I could get him for the right price, if I don't have to give a first round pick and I can get him second round pick and a player, something like that, definitely do it. I definitely would do it. But it's going to be interesting. Most likely, if we make a trade, it'll be somebody we're not even thinking of or not even talking of. Maybe we go, I didn't even know that guy's available. That's usually Howie Roseman MO. So we're going to have to see. It's going to be interesting. I think the Eagles, if they could get a wide receiver, if they could get somebody that could go vertical, stretch the field, allow Carson to have options on the other side of the field, because think about it. You got Ertz, and you're putting corner. Teams put their best corner on him, or they double him. That's what they've been doing with Ertz. Alshon hasn't been healthy, although like I said, he had a good game yesterday. Slot receiver, non-existent. Second outside wide receiver, non-existent. If you have other options, you can do a lot more with your offense. So I think that's the way to go. I don't know that the Eagles agree with that. I don't know what they're thinking. They could be thinking corner. Darius Slay, if it's him, great player. It'll be a huge upgrade on that secondary, no question about it. But it's going to be exciting. I can't wait to find out what they're going to do. I keep checking every 5 minutes. Like every 5 minutes, I'm checking refresh, just looking for something, And right now, it sounds like Darius Slay is very much in the Eagles' minds, and we'll see how it turns out. I have no idea. But like I said, I will try to be here live tomorrow. Last hour and a half, hour, 2 hours, whatever I can do before the trade deadline. If at all possible and I can get home for that, I will. So let me know who you want tomorrow in the trade. Trade deadline, I can't wait. It's going to be fun. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. And don't be a dingbat.